Welcome back to the series of sessions on advanced computer technology. We were discussing Module 1 aggregates. Today we will discuss Part C of Lecture 2 sampling and testing. In Module 1 aggregates, we have discussed classification of aggregates and then we have moved to sampling and testing. In Part A and B of Lecture 2, we have discussed sampling and testing based on shape, size, texture and strength. Today we are going to discuss sampling and testing based on a few other properties. Among them, let us start with modulus of elasticity. The modulus of elasticity of an aggregate is a material property. When the modulus of elasticity or the Young's modulus value of aggregate is different from that of the cement paste, there is a possibility that an interfacial crack is formed at the junction of aggregate and the cement paste. It may further extend to the areas of mortar. Hence, it is always preferable to have aggregates which is having Young's modulus similar to that of the cement paste. The stiffness of aggregate is also dependent on the modulus of elasticity. Stiffer the aggregate, lesser is the overall deformation. Now we shall discuss sampling and testing based on bulk density. Bulk density is defined as the dry weight of sample per unit volume considering the pore space, whereas particle density considered only the solid particles. Bulk density is dependent on shape, grading, presence of organic matter, texture, and density of the soil material. Rocks have a density of 2650 kg per meter cube, whereas silt is having a density of 1330 kg per meter cube because silt contains 50% of pore space. Coarse aggregate used in normal weight concrete has a bulk density of 1520 to 1680 kg per meter cube. For normal concreting, we prefer 20 mm graded aggregates and they are having a bulk density of 1560 kg per meter cube. When we are using coarse aggregates of the size 10 mm, they are having a bulk density of 1600 kg per meter cube. When the bulk density is less than 1120 kg per meter cube, we call it lightweight aggregates. When the bulk density value increases, it shows a low porosity and high compaction value. Now let us consider the property specific gravity. Specific gravity is the ratio of the weight of the given volume of aggregate to the weight of equal volume of water. Water is considered at a temperature of 23 degrees Celsius, hence the specific gravity of water is 1. Generally, specific gravity is an indication of high strength, but it is not always true that we should consider the strength of the aggregate using the specific gravity alone. We should definitely conduct mechanical properties tests to find the strength of the aggregates. Such tests we have already discussed. They are crushing strength, impact strength, and aberration values. Aggregate always contains some amount of voids, and the amount of voids is expressed as the porosity of the material. But there are possibilities that these pores are interconnected or even they will be hidden inside the aggregate. So if we take two samples of aggregates, there is a possibility that the amount of voids in both the samples will be different. Hence it is always difficult to give a particular number as the specific gravity for a sample of aggregates. Based on the type of test methods, there can be three types of specific gravity: bulk, saturated surface dry, and apparent. It is always difficult to calculate the true specific gravity of the material because in that case we have to powder it to the smallest particles and compact it such that there are no pores. Now let us consider the property absorption and moisture content. Four different moisture states in aggregates can be oven dry, air dry, saturated surface dry, and wet. There are number of methods to calculate the moisture content. They are drying method, displacement method, calcium carbide method, measurement by electric meter, and automatic measurement. First of all, let us consider drying method. In this method, a sample of aggregate is taken, it is weighed and then kept in the oven. After 1 day, the sample is taken out and again weighed. The loss in weight will give the moisture content of the aggregate. The second method is a displacement method in which we use a pyconometer. Here, the specific gravities of dry and wet aggregates are calculated separately, and the difference between the specific gravity will give an indication of the moisture content of the sample taken. Now let us consider calcium carbide method. Here 6 grams of wet sample of aggregate is taken and put it in a container. Then 1 scoop full of calcium carbide powder is also added to the container. Then it is shaken rigorously. Calcium carbide reacts with the moisture and produces acetylene gas, which causes a reading in the pressure gauge. The pressure gauge is so calibrated that it directly gives the moisture content inside the aggregate. As we are aware, the presence of moisture content influences the resistance to the passage of current. This principle is used in electric meter. Electric meter gives instantaneous measurements of moisture content. In the modern batching and mixing plants, there are automatic measurement devices available which directly measures the amount of moisture present in the aggregates, and based on which the amount of water added to the concrete is adjusted. These methods work at an accuracy of 0.2 to 0.6%. Now let us move on to the next property, bulking of aggregates. When water is added to dry sample of fine aggregate, its volume increases. This property is known as bulking. Bulking can lead to problems when we are using volume batching. In crushed sand, the problem of bulking is found to be more than that of natural sand. When there is a moisture content of around 5 to 6%, it is observed that there is an increase in volume of 20, 30 or even 40% depending on the grading of the fine aggregate used. Bulking of aggregates can be calculated using the IS code IS 2386 part 3. Here we have a container in which we take a sample of aggregate and note the volume. Then we add small percentages of water and note the increase in volume of the aggregate. We are adding the moisture until there is an increase in volume, and then the volume reduces and comes to a constant value. You can see in the graph that in coarse graded and fine graded aggregate there is considerable change in bulking. We can see the bulking is less in coarse graded than in fine graded as we add the moisture content. In the graph, it is clear that when we add water from around 0 to 5%, there is considerable increase in volume, and beyond which there is decrease in volume. So that is the speciality of bulking of aggregates. For the given sample, we are asked to find the bulking graph of the particular sample. Now we shall consider the property cleanliness. It has to be taken care that the aggregate used for concreting should be clean, or else we have to clean it before it is to be adopted in concreting. If organic matters are present in aggregate such as vegetation, soft particles, clay lumps, etc., it has to be removed. Otherwise, it will be causing a negative influence on the bonding between the aggregate and the cement paste. When we are considering manufactured aggregates, they are passing through several crushing processes. During this process, a lot of microfines are created. Around 20% of the aggregates will be converted to microfines. These microfines are to be removed before they are to be dispatched for concreting. Otherwise, these microfines will cause shrinkage in concrete, and it will in turn cause the cracks in concrete. The cleanliness of the aggregate can be ensured using different methods. Let us consider one of the methods, a colorimeter test. Here a sample of sand is taken and it is mixed with 3% solution of sodium hydroxide in water. It is kept for 24 hours and the color developed is compared with the standard color card. If the color developed is darker than the standard color card, it is inferred that the amount of organic impurities are more than the permitted limit. In that case, either the sand is rejected or it is washed before use. Sedimentation test can be used to ensure cleanliness. Here, a sample of aggregate is poured in a measuring jar. Then the aggregate is rodded nicely to dislodge the particles of clay and the silt adhering to it. Then the sample is filled with water and shaken well so that the clay and silt particles get mixed with water. After that, the jar is kept still. Then what happens is heavier fine aggregate particles will settle down first. Later, the silt and clay particles will settle down after some time. By seeing the layer of clay and silt, we can get an idea about the presence of clay and silt in the aggregate sample we have taken. Now let us consider the property soundness. Soundness is the ability to resist excessive changes in volume with the changes in physical conditions. We can get a clear idea about the soundness from the absorption and porosity characteristics of aggregate. Soundness can be tested by subjecting them to wetting and drying cycles. Here, sodium sulfate is used as a wetting fluid and then the weight loss is measured. Now let us consider the soundness test in detail. Take a sample of aggregate and immerse it in a solution of sodium or magnesium sulfate. Then it is oven dried. The particular wetting and drying cycle is repeated. The loss of weight after 10 cycles should not exceed 12% when tested with sodium sulfate, and it should not exceed 18% when tested with magnesium sulfate. Now let us move on to the thermal properties. Aggregates contribute around 70 to 80% of the volume of concrete. Hence, thermal properties of aggregate has definitely a great influence on the thermal properties of concrete. The most important concrete thermal properties are specific heat, thermal conductivity, and coefficient of thermal expansion. Thermal incompatibility between aggregate and cement paste or aggregate and the matrix will definitely cause a differential movement and breakage of bond at the interface of aggregate and paste as well as between the aggregate and matrix. So we have to be very careful in selecting the aggregate which has the same thermal properties as that of hydrated cement. Let me summarize sampling and testing done based on different properties. We have discussed 12 different properties such as shape, size, texture, strength, modulus of elasticity, bulk density, specific gravity, absorption and moisture content, bulking of aggregate, cleanliness, soundness, thermal properties. Hope you have understood all the different properties, its sampling and testing methods. Thank you.